All right, again, we'll thank our sponsors. We've got Keeley Electronics, the new fuzz pedal. Thank you so much. I haven't had a chance to even play it yet because we've been so busy gearing up for a trip down to Nate's Oyster Bar in Slocum, Alabama. If you haven't been there, I would get there.
I haven't been there. I will try to get there because I love seafood and I haven't been to the South.
Oysters, can't get enough sometimes.
Seriously?
It's so good.
Shrimp and scallops to me. Oh, by the way, before we get into all of that, I would like to start off by saying hello. I'm Tyler McMillin. This is my first podcast. Thanks James for the hospitality for bringing me in here.
That's so kind. Thank you.
Never done this before. I know we started shooting some videos recently, Fresh Trades. I'm sure you can find those on his page as well. I started watching his 922 podcast, and I'm a huge podcast fan. I like to talk a lot.
You're every day with Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan every single day.
I walk past your desk and it's like, dang, dude.
I just listen to it in the background, and most of the time I'd listen to the MMA, or if he's got a very interesting guest. Most of the time comedians are really what I want to listen to, and I've been getting inspired by a lot of those guys because, you know, they take that, don't sit around, who cares what other people think, go for it, do what you got to do to get where you want to be.
But everybody has a podcast these days.
Everybody has a podcast, and
it's like here's what's going on, news media, transmission to you.
It's because everybody thinks that their opinion is needs to be heard, and honestly, I really don't care if anyone wants to hear it. I talk that much, you're just gonna hear it.
Yeah, that's what it's kind of like to think about. Like, here's a story. Maybe you should listen to it. Maybe you shouldn't. You know.
Mm-hmm.
All the help that we have. We've got #History Hats. We've got Keeley Electronics. We've got Nate's Oyster Bar, More Watch City, Elgin, Illinois. And what do you have to sell?
I have nothing to sell.
That's it. We're selling Tyler McMillin.
We're selling Tyler McMillin.
Do you really think that's something like marketable?
Myself?
What would you say is like marketable about yourself?
Oh, definitely my personality and my quick wits. That's like the 1-2.
What is it?
Quick wits.
Okay.
Yes. Like I'm fast-witted at people, and it's like the...
Yeah.
I consider it like the fast draw, like a Western. Like when somebody wants to, get in my... I love being combative with people in fun, and sometimes it does seem like it's been a little bit harsh, and that's the game I like to play, is it's right on that cusp of, am I really talking that much smack, or is this just fun to go back and forth with? And it's a blast for me, because then I feel like you really get to find out how fast people's cylinders fire.
Yes.
And
like, were you good at math as a kid?
When I was younger, I was really good at math. Like, I was fast. I mean, my younger brother, Evan, he was lightning at it, and he is lightning fast, just like I am at talking smack. I'll give it to where I grew up, like the Gurney, Waukegan area. Man, you had to be quick-witted out there.
Yeah, you had to be able to engineer a language.
That was my defense mechanism, was being that fast.
Tone.
Yeah, that fast, that quick little witted white boy.
Yeah.
that was me.
That's funny.
That's funny. Yeah, I like it.
Same here, growing up in Elgin. I was, of course, even younger looking than I am now.
Honestly, you guys can look at both of us here, and I could be considered in the same age bracket as you. Like, we both look like we're in our 30s.
You would beat me up in high school. It's like that. But I would not change a thing, though. It's like, man, thank goodness I don't look the age I am, or I take up less space in the world, or am super efficient at what I do in life.
I was about to say, you're like the person that doesn't seem that they care about the carbon output, but you're so efficient that like the vegans and hippies love you. They're like, dude, this guy doesn't have any carbon. You drive from 922. Oh, thank God.
You know your
gas
efficient. Gosh.
Your gas mileage is so great. Oh, you also drive a truck. Okay. Well,
he is drinking the Kool-Aid efficiently.
that is true, but
what we do.
Yeah, I guess that's why I consider, but I'm pretty marketable. In that essence.
It's sad to have to ask you that. I just wanted to know, like, I mean, that's something that exists. You know, when you're watching a program, you're about.
What makes you you?
Yeah.
That's pretty much what people always ask. I mean, all the people that I watch on a podcast, there's a reason that they have it. There's a viewer that they already have. There's a set base of people that they're already bringing to the table here. Mine. Do
you need something from the kitchen right now?
I don't. I'm actually good.
Okay.
I think the only thing that I really have going for me is people either want to see you make it or people want to see you fail. So I'll embrace either one at this moment, and I want to find out
Interesting.
how that goes. Because no matter what, if I continue to do this, which I hope we continue to go on with this for as long as we have fun with it. Honestly, it's just for fun basis. It doesn't mean we're gonna go anywhere with it. But if it does, booyah.
Yeah.
It'll lead into further adventures. I think this is the first step.
Let me ask you this.
Good.
What are some of your favorite podcasts?
Joe Rogan, Theo Von. Recently, he's been killing it. He makes me die laughing.
It's very calculated. Like, he's got it planned out well in advance for his delivery.
He's a funny cat. And I listen to Brennan Schaub, because like I said, I listen to the MMA world as well. He's got a couple out there. Man, he just bounces around a lot. There's so many, like Bert Kreischer's, Tom Segura's, a lot of comedians, honestly.
See, I'm more like grassroots stuff, like
really?
Bio-Friendly podcast that just came out, John Walker podcast, who was in Panic and played with them. Yeah, his wife is my wife's cousin.
Really?
That's the relation. And so he's got one, and there's one from one of the employees of Keeley Electronics has a boys podcast. That's what it's called, Boys, and it is like raunchily hilarious. It's really, really good. And then a guy that used to work at with us created this podcast, Charles Little podcast, and one day he was like talking about sports, and I'm like, dude, you need to be on like talk radio or something like that. You need your own show.
So when I was little, I thought about doing something along that lines. Like I love sports, and I was like, I'll be a sport commentator.
Were you pressing tape over the cassette tapes to record your own voice?
Yeah, I did do stuff like that. I ruined a couple tapes doing stupid things for sure. I was the kid that I didn't know. I didn't like the way I sounded on tape.
Never.
But I knew I always wanted to be in front of the camera.
Interesting.
So I knew that was always a thing. My family, when I was growing up, were like, you were always a showman. You always wanted attention. You always were the loud one in the room. You wanted everybody to look all eyes on you. And then somewhere along the lines, I realized that...
1 second. When's your birthday?
November 9th.
Okay. Continue.
Okay. Random,
just in case.
Just in case what?
You know, like if somebody's born around the same time as you are, I can be like, okay, you're one of them.
Scorpio.
Oh, okay.
Is that what you're referencing? I don't believe in horoscopes.
Yeah, it's give or take.
Or those rocks, like the rocks. Like
the rocks? Oh, that's so funny because that's a big part of what you're sitting in right now.
True.
I don't think those. They're just so beyond me. It's yeah.
What's to come in the future for this? What should we make a name for this thing? Oh, and the other thing where I got really big and excited about doing this is because when I watched, like when I was referencing one of the podcasts, the Brandon Schaub, he also has one, The Fighter and the Kid, with him and Brian Callen, who's a comedian. And Brandon Schaub he was in the NFL, he was a fullback, and then he became an MMA fighter, and then he went to comedian. And I'm like, he found his way, and he's just so different than Brian Callen. And I'm like, that's where this could be funny.
That's an amazing use of muscles. Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, at least
were you saying something about Pringles when we were at work?
It's like my favorite chip in life.
Yeah, but you were saying something like, how's it gonna look the next day after the podcast? I think, and you're like, and James is got a mouthful of Pringles or something like that.
No, I said, what's gonna end up happening is we're gonna get here. I'm gonna end up falling asleep with my mouth open, and James gonna crumble up a whole mouthful of Pringles in my mouth. I'm gonna wake up with it like, well, that podcast went great. My best moments aren't when I'm trying to like be funny. It's normally when I just have like a word vomit of ADHD that just comes out. Like,
all you need is conversation. So when you do stand up, just make sure that it's an open mic.
which brings me into the next thing is that the reason I'm doing all this is because I think it's a good platform to get myself to start getting out there more often and try to get, like, I guess, some huevos, you know, some balls to get to the next point. I wanna take an improv class. I wanna start, hopefully one day, get in front of a crowd and do open mic or something along those lines, like you're referencing.
Yeah.
Would you ever do something like that?
Maybe we'll just have to schedule it. That's all you got to do.
Holy
right?
crap! I crap my pants
I
just
know,
thinking
right?
about the
I
amount
do
of
too.
anxiety I have about it. I think I want to do an improv class to at least get that first step in, because once again, listen to the Joe Rogan podcast, I think about it. I hear about them talking about how Brendan Schaub got into it, and I'm like, I understand people have different approaches. So I want to see if that's the right way to go about it. We'll figure it out.
I've tried to
tell jokes, man.
Play live before. I tried, and like I'll get through one song really bad, and then there'd be somebody there to bail me out. You know, like my father-in-law or John Walker one time.
Come out and be like, I got this, guys.
Like,
hello.
I get up there and he's like, I'm getting through this song and I'm looking at everybody not knowing what's going on. And then I'd be like, all right, thanks for coming, guys. Here's the next guy.
I think, see, now that might help out, because I know I'm pretty good at commanding a room, but...
MC.
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 MC. I like a mic.
You'd be a good MC. Jeez. Yeah. They keep stuff moving. Very productive.
Yeah, very productive.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy that...
Jeez.
I would not be able to be a rapper. If that's what you're referencing, but I could be like the guy that'd be like, alright guys, who's the next person coming out?
No, yeah, because there's some...
In-betweener.
There's some rap, and then there's just some, like, noise.
You know what's messed up is that's probably some of my favorite stuff I'm listening to right now is noise.
Yeah, I'd be amazed that I'd probably never heard what you're listening to.
I would never... Here's the funniest thing. Have you ever heard of Blueface?
No.
Yeah, that's such funny.
But, you know, if you...
It's got like one of the #1 hit songs in the United States right now. Isn't that funny?
That's crazy.
I know. But you're like really, really, really musically inclined and musically talented. I had no idea, like, we were talking before. I worked with you for over a year.
Yeah.
I never knew anything about this guy. Anything.
How did you find out?
Research. I first looked it up on YouTube because of one of our other coworkers that you hated with a damn passion.
Oh, yeah. There's plenty of those. I'm sorry.
He doesn't work there anymore, so you can talk as much as you want. He actually doesn't live in the state.
Wow. Still no idea.
I guarantee it.
I guess
I'll
like,
write it
if
down.
I cross state line, then...
No, I'll write it down
know.
I'll write it down for you later. It's
Okay.
funny. But we looked you up on YouTube and we saw some of your old stuff, and that's where I saw like the old videos of like you playing the guitar
In the laundromat?
in the laundromat, and then I
Dude,
died
if
laughing.
you own a laundromat, I would really look into having some live entertainment. It is, it's people enjoy it.
People do like it, but I don't know if you want to mix live entertainment and laundry.
You do, because
I feel like somebody's
usually-
bringing booze.
No,
People like me are bringing booze.
You don't
I'm gonna
have
get
to.
drunk and listen to a good band while doing my laundry. Yeah, my freaking clothes are all gonna be screwed up the next day, but you know what? They're clean. They're clean. There's a little beer on them. Yeah, I had a great time with it. Yeah, whippity wow, I'll do it. Yeah, I get it. But
the coolest thing, most efficient thing,
You know,
is
if you
that it's usually right next to a liquor store.
what happens if you
So
do a
don't
good
have
job
to
and then
go
there's a
very
good
far.
tambourine girl that you take home? You need a couple shots of tequila for that to happen.
That's the world they built us, man.
That's not the world they built us.